Hai Sobat Samuel, berikut ini kami tunjukkan cara berinvestasi menggunakan aplikasi Star Mobile. Caranya sangat praktis dan tentunya mudah. Mari kita simak bersama-sama. Pertama-tama, unduh atau download aplikasi Star pada smartphone Anda. Tentu saja bisa melalui Google Play Store untuk Android dan juga App Store untuk iPhone. Setelah terdownload, buka aplikasi Star dan kemudian klik register online. Untuk saat ini, registrasi online hanya untuk WNI yang sudah memiliki IKTP saja ya. Lalu Sobat Samuel dapat melengkapi data-data pribadi Anda sesuai dengan IKTP tersebut. Dalam proses pembukaan rekening online ini, Sobat Samuel dapat memilih untuk menggunakan rekening dana nasabah atau RDN di BCA atau BRI, sesuai dengan rekening bank yang sudah Anda miliki. Untuk pemilik rekening bank lain, Anda dapat membuka rekening Star Samuel Sekuritas melalui website atau offline. Untuk kode referral, Sobat Samuel bisa mengisinya dengan nama teman atau kerabat yang menyarankan aplikasi Star kepada Anda. Kalau tidak ada yang menyarankan atau merefer, kode tersebut dapat dikosongkan saja. Setelah mengisi data nomor telepon dan juga email, kode OTP akan otomatis dikirimkan ke email Anda, sehingga Anda perlu memasukkan kode OTP yang tertera pada email tersebut di aplikasi Star. Setelah melakukan verifikasi OTP tersebut, Sobat Samuel dapat melanjutkan mengisi data diri sesuai dengan IKTP. Oh iya, Sobat Samuel yang belum memiliki NPWP masih tetap dapat membuka rekening Star dengan cara mengisinya di kolom NPWP dengan angka 0, yaitu sebanyak 15 kali. Selesai melengkapi data pribadi, pilih upload dokumen di menu bar bawah, kemudian upload foto IKTP, foto Anda bersama IKTP, dan juga foto tanda tangan Anda di atas kertas putih polos ya. Setelah semua data diinput, tunggu proses verifikasi data dan pengaktifan akun serta RDN dengan waktu tunggu maksimal 1 kali 24 jam ya selama hari kerja. Jika waktu tunggu tersebut terlewat, Sobat Samuel dapat mengecek email secara berkala karena kemungkinan ada kekurangan data atau ada kesalahan upload dokumen. Tentunya, tim Star Samuel Sekuritas akan menghubungi Anda terkait kekurangan data atau ada kesalahan proses melalui email atau telepon. Jika data sudah diverifikasi dan lengkap, registrasi akan diproses yang ditandai dengan adanya email pre-activation, berisikan client code dan juga password login. Dengan memasukkan keduanya di login akun, Anda sudah bisa melihat market info di aplikasi Star. Namun, untuk mulai melakukan trading, Sobat Samuel harus menunggu proses pembuatan RDN atau rekening dana nasabah. Setelah proses pembuatan RDN selesai, akan ada email masuk, dan Anda harus transfer ke nomor rekening yang sudah tertera di email ya Sobat semua, sebagai syarat pengaktifan rekening tersebut. Anda bisa transfer dengan jumlah berapapun, karena kami tidak membatasi jumlah minimal untuk pengaktifan rekeningnya. Setelah deposit berhasil, tunggu email selanjutnya ya, untuk mendapatkan PIN trading. Dan setelah mendapatkan PIN trading, maka Sobat Samuel bisa langsung mulai ikut trading di aplikasi Star. Bagaimana? Mudah dan cepat kan? Selamat mulai perjalanan investasi ya Sobat Samuel bersama Star. Jangan lupa ya untuk follow YouTube, Instagram, Clubhouse, dan Telegram kita untuk tidak ketinggalan berbagai update dari Samuel Sekuritas Indonesia. Salam cuan!
Oke, selamat sore semuanya. Selamat datang di webinar Earnings Call Full Year 2021 untuk PT MD Pictures Tbk. Kembali lagi bersama dengan saya Muhammad Farhan, Equity Research Analyst dari PT Samuel Sekuritas Indonesia. Dan di sini kita juga sudah hadir beberapa orang-orang hebat ya di film. Di sini kita sudah ada Pak Manoj Punjabi. Selamat sore Pak Manoj.
Selamat sore, apa kabar?
Baik Pak Manoj, baik. Dan kita juga sudah kedatangan dua direktur dari film. Yang pertama ada Mr. Dave Ulmer. Hello Dave, welcome to the webinar.
Hello, selamat sore, good afternoon.
Okay. And kita juga sudah kedatangan CFO langsung dari MD Picture. Ada Pak Priyadasy Anand. Hello Anand, glad to join.
Halo, selamat sore semuanya.
Baik, dan tentunya kita juga sudah kehadiran technical analyst dari PT Sekuritas Indonesia, Pak William Mamudi. Halo Pak William, selamat sore.
Halo, selamat sore semua.
Oke, baik. Terima kasih para hadirin yang sudah hadir di webinar Earnings Call Full Year 2021 ini. Jadi memang format ini akan menjadi sedikit lebih berbeda ya daripada format kupas tuntas kita seperti biasa. Karena memang format ini kita akan lebih membahas mengenai bagaimana kinerja perusahaan, terutama kinerja film ya selama setahun ke belakang, dan bagaimana sih outlook film ini ke depannya seperti apa. Nah, mungkin untuk mempersingkat waktu, langsung saja kita akan mendengarkan presentasi akan dibawakan oleh Pak Mr. Dave. So we'll hear a presentation that will be brought by Mr. Dave, but before that, there's going to be a video, a sneak peek for you all. So stay tuned and enjoy the presentation.
Mas Arya.
Mirip Pokemon?
Bener.
Om. Gak usah panggil saya Om.
Masih banyak ya Om.
Lo gak usah sebut gue pengecut.
Apa maksud lo?
Woi bro, ayo santai.
Kamu bawa dia ke Kapadokia. It's my dream.
Di saat seorang pelacur melayani Anda, mereka tidak benar-benar menikmatinya.
Dan kamu merasa paling kenal saya?
Sekarang aku hanya berharap agar rasa ini tenggelam di dasar lautan.
Lakuin apa yang harus lo lakuin.
Bukan itu jawaban yang mau saya dengar.
Karir menghindar itu sama sekali nggak nyelesain masalah.
Bolehkah aku memutuskan untuk tidak pergi? Bolehkah aku tetap di sini?
Lo cerita sama kita sebenarnya ada apa sama lo dan Aris?
Juwita, you did a great job.
Udah cukup kita main aman. Kita harus nyatuin semua geng motor.
Lo tau nggak kan? Hewan yang mati itu berisik karena apa? Karena dipisahin sama anak-anaknya.
Gue nggak pernah nganggep lo nggak ada. Gue nganggep lo sahabat gue.
Gak usah melok-melok.
Goblok sih.
Nini.
Niko.
Incu ngiring lebet ka dieu.
Incu teu aya niat ngaganggu.
Oke, setelah melihat itu tadi, jadi itu ada sedikit sneak peek ya, dan juga film-film yang akan dirilis oleh MD Pictures di tahun ini. Dan mungkin without further ado, I would like to call Mr. Dave Ulmer for presenting the company presentation. Dave, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, and I appreciate everyone joining us today to review our 2021 earnings and company results. I'm going to give you a business update on how things have been going for us over the last year. We're quite pleased with our performance in 2021 and even more excited about the time ahead. The brief video you just saw is an indication of the business we're in, which is in providing video entertainment. We have a large list of new projects that are underway. We produced quite a lot last year. And I think if you look at our past 2 years, the word to think of is change. This has been the largest change in the video market in my lifetime, to see how the business went from almost 100% of our productions and our revenue was in the theater back in 2019 back when we first went public a few years ago. And now almost 100%, it's over 85% of our revenue has been coming from digital distribution. We have not changed our business. We continue to produce great Indonesian content, films, TV series, and we will continue to do so. What has changed is distribution. So I'm going to show you some of the things that have remained the same that account for what we did in 2021. Then we'll move to our financials and open the floor for any questions. First of all, I think it's been extremely important to recognize that in Indonesia, we're a very unique market. Elsewhere in the world, whether you're in the United States or Europe, Hollywood content is the strongest draw for consumers. It drives the biggest audiences. But here in Indonesia, local content has been exceptionally important. And that has not changed pre-COVID pandemic, during the pandemic, and today. Consumers are coming out in larger and larger numbers online and in theaters to watch local Indonesian productions. When we last left off in the theater, Indonesian content was over 40% of every ticket sold to the movie theaters. And if we look at even the last quarter, we have seen that our movies are outperforming large Hollywood movies like Dune or The Batman. Local Indonesian movies are continuing to be a strong draw for the Indonesian population. We were always quite successful in the box office. We grew from just releasing 4 movies back in 2015 to over 17 movies in 2019, plus an additional number of about 5 or 6 co-productions. And then when COVID hit and the theaters closed down, our business changed almost 100% overnight. You'll see, if you looked at our financials back in 2020, we took a hit while we pivoted and changed to digital distribution. And 2021 proved that that was the best and most successful strategy. Last year, what we saw happen was online viewership continued to grow at a record pace. Indonesia is now the top streaming video market in the region. The number of consumers who have paid for online subscriptions had doubled year over year. There are now over 15 million consumers paying a monthly subscription for an online video service. That's $725 million in subscription revenue last year, double the year before, and it's showing no signs of stopping. So even when theaters come back, online has been born in Indonesia, and we are a major player in providing all of the online platforms with local Indonesian content. If you look at what was it that attracted Indonesians to sign up for Disney and Hotstar? Well, they watched movies that were produced by MD Pictures. Number 1 was Surga Yang Tak Terindakan Tiga. On WeTV, the top series were from MD Pictures. Antares, Layangan Putus. I think everyone knows about Layangan Putus now. And we have produced now over 18 movies that have gone directly to online, a dozen series that have gone to online, and even more coming in the year ahead. If you look at these logos of the online platforms, MD Pictures is what we call the arms dealer to the online battle. We provide content to every one of these. And so as their business grows, so does ours. I want to show you what I've shown this slide before. To some of you in the crowd, I noticed many familiar names in the list of participants today. But for those of you who have not seen this before, I think this is very important to recognize. If you look at the traditional movie and TV business, it was measured very differently than it is today. Movie theaters are measured by their box office, how many tickets sold. TV shows on free-to-air and pay TV is measured by your ratings, how many people are watching each night. But online platforms are measuring two things that's very different. They measure how many new subscribers are coming onto my service, and do they stay? And so this is the chart here I want to point out. We released a series called My Lecturer, My Husband, and it was our first series on WeTV. WeTV is also iFlix, so they distribute to both of their applications. The day after our series appeared on their apps suddenly became the #1 and #2 most downloaded app on the Google Play Store, the #1 and the #3 most downloaded app on the Apple Store. And what we provided for them over the course of our relationship with Disney, with Netflix, with WeTV, is that we are driving subscribers to their platform and we're driving viewers to their platform. They're measuring the revenue two ways. One is subscriptions, how many people are paying every month. And that's an important part of the business. But they're also driving viewers to their platform, platforms that are now ad supported. For example, WeTV is almost over 90% supported by advertising dollars. So when we put people on their platform, something like Layangan Putus, it was viewed by over 15 million consumers in a single day. It was a #1 series on the WeTV platform around the world in 12 different countries, including a number of countries you might not expect, like Austria and Belgium, Singapore, the United States, and the UK. This is driving tremendous value to our customers and showing us that Indonesian content is in demand around the world. But let's not forget about the box office. It is coming back. Day by day, we're getting better reports coming out about the strength of the box office. It was basically closed for over a year for us. We had movies set to be released in March of 2020, and we did not release them. And finally, in December of last year, on December 30th, actually, Mamudi 2 came out to the movie theaters and blew away the box office. Mamudi 2 is the #1 movie for all of 2021. And it's over 4 times more tickets than #2. And then we said, let's try another one. And in February of 2022, we released Kukira Karuma. It blew away the box office. These are huge numbers, even in a non-pandemic year, and it's very encouraging for us. So if you haven't heard already, I don't know how you missed the marketing, but tomorrow night is our grand gala premiere for KKN di Desa Paneri, which we have been holding on to for 2 years now, waiting for the theaters to be back to health. And we're releasing it tomorrow night to a VIP personal invite crowd. I know many of you are going to be attending. We have high hopes for the resurgence of the box office for Indonesia, and it's only going to add to our OTT business for our online customers. So let's take a snapshot, 2021. Here's what we did. 2021 is the highest revenue year since we went public. We have come back at an immense pace, coming back from last year at the highest growth rate we've ever had year over year, with a very interesting dynamic. If you look back in 2018, nearly 100% of our revenue was coming from theater. By the time you get to 2019, 15% of our revenue is now digital. 2020, over half of our revenue was digital. And 2021, the year we just finished, 86% of all revenue came from digital distribution. We're looking forward to maintaining the revenue from digital and adding to it a growth rate for this growth of the digital market, plus theatrical revenue coming back. So looking forward, we're quite pleased with the prospects that we have. I'm going to stop now and open up the floor for any questions. We have, Manoj is on the phone for any dynamics that you would like to discuss with him. We have Anand, if you'd like to discuss any of the particular financials off of our balance sheet and our financials for 2021. And I'll stop here. Turn this over to Q&A.
Okay, thank you Dave for the lovely presentation. Terima kasih ya kepada Pak Dave untuk telah memberikan presentasinya yang sangat insightful dan juga meng-highlight beberapa kinerja dari MD Pictures ya selama 2021 seperti itu. Nah, mungkin kita akan langsung saja mulai ya ke Q&A. So we'll be starting with the Q&A. Sebenarnya sebelum ini mungkin kita sambil menunggu ada pertanyaan-pertanyaan dari floor, saya ada sedikit pertanyaan aja sih dari saya gitu ya. Maybe this question is for either Dave, Anand, or Pak Manoj. What will drive film's revenue in 2022? Can you share a bit of color, like what's going to drive the revenue? Is it from the cinema or from the OTT or from both? Can you share that to us?
Sure, I can answer that. Our revenue in 2022 is going to be the majority should be from the digital online distribution. We expect that digital is going to continue to grow. The market is growing at a very nice rate, and we intend to maintain our market share in digital. But we will be adding on to that theatrical revenue. So I think if you were to look at the mix, it's hard to predict. It depends on how well even tomorrow goes. We expect we will be at around 60 to 70% digital, 30% approximately theatrical.
Okay, thank you, Dave. Pak Manoj or Anand,
saya nambah sedikit. Jadi yang saya lihat, Farras, kalau 2022 ini bakal lebih menarik karena opening kita, digital kita stabil, ya. Tinggal first quarter promising, ya, programs kita dari My Lecture, My Husband season 2, Antares season 2, Kisah untuk Gary. Jadi banyak banget series yang belum di-announce tapi akan rilis digital. Jadi that will be growing and the cinema will be very interesting karena dengan bukannya Kukira Kau Rumah di bulan Februari dengan 2,2 juta penonton, sekarang MD mau rilis Kakek di Desa Penari, itu udah sangat menjanjikan. Naga kerja sama dengan Citra Cinema, terus Ivana dari Danur Universe, ini baru sampai bulan Juli. Belum yang lain lagi akan sampai tahun depan. Jadi kalau lihat dari segi cinema very promising. I see exactly what Dave said, that ini 30-40% cinema and 60-70% digital. It will keep growing. Ini yang sangat menjanjikan, jadi sangat interesting. Sebelum pandemi, kita lagi coba masuk digital, tapi nunggu timing yang tepat. Pandemi ini membuat kita unfortunate situation, but for us jadi blessing in disguise. Jadi strategi yang kita tadinya lagi speednya 10 km per jam, sekarang jadi 100 km. Ini kesempatan yang terjadi. Ini yang akan beda dari sebelum pandemik dan sekarang udah endemik. Di endemik ini jadi kesempatan kita. Bioskop sekarang udah sangat promising and the growth will be there. Ya, dengan MD punya sukses dengan Makmum 2 and Kukira Kau Rumah. Bayangkan Kukira Kau Rumah main di situasi yang PPKM level 3, kami bisa mendapat 2,2 juta. Jadi ini yang promising ke depan dari segi sinema. Belum lagi yang dari OTT yang tadi yang judul saya mention. Jadi Bayangkan 30-40% ini how big it is, 60-70% ini how big it is. Mungkin itu dulu dari saya.
Okay, thank you Pak Manoj. Anan, mungkin do you want to add something?
I think as Pak Manoj and Dave says, most probably, of course, the whole revenue overall planning is basically it will definitely grow compared to what we see in 2021. How the composition will wrap up depend upon the timing and how we see the bioscope situations. But we are very much positive. What we have seen in the beginning of the year, it's very, very positive sign with 2 of our content doing very well. And we are going to have a very, one of the big IP going tomorrow. So we'll see. But definitely in, it can wrap up anyway, 70-30, it can go 60-40, it can even go to 80-20. But definitely the trend, if you see, it's going to grow better than compared to 2021 in terms of top line.
Okay.
I see a couple of interesting questions.
Saya boleh tambah, yeah. Sebelum before you start, just an interesting fact that kita kan lagi test market, contohnya KKN ini akan sebesar apa. Jadi if you go to Tix ID, you see in Grand Indo dari tanggal 2 untuk sneak preview 28 itu udah sold out. The tickets have been sold out. I don't know you can see or not. This is a very good sign. Mudah-mudahan ini jadi tanda-tanda yang sangat positif ya. Jadi nggak ada satu seat left. Biasa kalau orang hari itu beli, ini 2 minggu sebelumnya orang sudah antusias pengen nonton film itu. Jadi itu tanda-tanda yang positif.
Wow. Okay. Congrats. Dave, you want to add something to that?
Yeah. No, actually, I saw a separate topic. I see a few questions in the Q&A asking about the effect of Netflix's recent announcement and additional platforms that are coming. So I want to just make some comments on that. So Netflix announced that they're going to be considering reducing their price and adding an ad-supported free layer. This is something that you see, for example, on WeTV. You can watch the shows for free with advertising, or you can pay a subscription. For Indonesia particularly, I think that news is exceptionally promising for the entire business, and not just MD, but for the entire business. Because for the longest time, advertisers have been only directing their ad dollars towards free-to-air TV. And the changes that will take place over the future will be that more and more advertisers will become more comfortable with advertising on online platforms. Because if you look at how many people are subscribing to services today, it's less than 10% of the population. Sure, it's going to grow, but it's never going to get to 30, 40, 50% like it might be in another country. What is going to happen in Indonesia is that we'll have more people watching ad-supported content online and on TV. And it's a nice marriage between the two. So we look at that as a very promising sign. And one more point. There are a number of global platforms that are not here yet. You're seeing them in the news now. They're starting to announce, they're starting to talk. Other people are announcing it. So there's Amazon Prime, HBO Max are the two that are most prominently in the news. If you are in Indonesia today, you can watch HBO Go, but HBO Max has not yet launched and not with local content. Same thing with Amazon. They're here available to Prime subscribers, but not with local Indonesian content. So they only have 0.1% of the market today. We expect that will grow. We are absolutely in discussions with every major platform that's planning a launch in Indonesia. And we fully expect to see them. I expect that we will see 2 of those platforms coming in before the end of this year. That is at a very nice pace for us. It'll only mean a bigger pie, and we hope that this pie continues to grow. And so far, research is telling us that by the end, in the next 5 years, we're going to see at least 25-30% year-over-year growth in all of these businesses.
Okay, thank you so much, Dave. Thank you so much also Pak Manoj and also Anand for the answers. And sekarang kita sudah kita mungkin ini ada sedikit pertanyaan mengenai prospek ya. So there's a little of questions about your projections in 2022 and how do you and your guidance regarding your top line and bottom line. So there's an interesting question from the chat from Laras. So there's actually 3 questions. Number 1 is, can you give your expectation for top line and bottom line growth for this year? So I think what she's trying to ask is, can you give a little bit of guidance and a projection of what is your revenue and your net income growth in this year? And for the second question is, should we expect digital sales to push the margin back to pre-pandemic level? So yeah, that is the second question. And also for the third question is, what is your CapEx level for this year in 2022? Maybe Anand, Dave, or Pak Manoj would like to answer that.
I'll hand that to Anand.
Yeah, sure. See, what in a stable, we are basically in a stable way. I will say that the growth on the top line, it's going to grow at the rate of more than 25%, and bottom line will definitely follow that. Basically, so if you see, basically we have achieved a number of 255 million in 2021. So definitely we are going to break the 300 slab, which will be one of the highest for MD Pictures since we go listed, because our previous record is 293. So we are so top line will be definitely above 300. It may be close to, depending upon how Bioscope goes through. We are targeting like 320 plus, even close to 350. And bottom line, you can see it again depends upon the Bioscope and the digital market, but we normally make a decent earning of 25% of the top line. That is how the bottom line will wrap up. Now, the third question is more on the how the capital, the investment plan is. I would say, of course, we'll have a replacement capex in the range of 10 to 12 million in a year, and definitely on the other bigger plan, definitely will, if suppose there is an opportunity, business opportunity that may come in, but I'm more talking about a replacement capex, which will be in the range of 10 to 12 million in a year.
Okay, thank you, Anand. Mungkin Pak Manoj ada yang ingin ditambahkan, or maybe from Dave, you would like to add some color on that?
No, I think that's exactly what we've been saying all along. We plan on growing 25% approximately year over year and maintaining our profit margins, which is a 50-point top line and 25-point net. That's our intention. Hopefully we can outperform that, and we'll be talking to you next year and have blown through those numbers, but I am not willing to sign up for that yet.
Okay, thank you, Dave. Okay, so ini ada pertanyaan selanjutnya ya, dan ini mungkin cukup menarik. Di tahun 2022 ini kan sinema sudah dibuka ya, so maybe cinema has already opened in 2022. Melihat dari sudah ada Kukira Kau Rumah, dan juga ada Makmum 2, dan juga ada Garis Waktu kemarin bahkan sudah ada, dan bahkan besok premier dari KKN ya gitu. Jadi we're starting to see the opening of cinema, but also you also want to distribute to OTT. So the question is, bagaimana sih kira-kira MD dapat mensinergi ekosistem distribusi cinema dan juga OTT? So maybe the question is around how will MD Pictures like synergize the distribution ecosystem between cinema and also the OTT? Maybe Pak Manoj or Dave or Anand would like to answer.
Kalau saya lihat ekosistem ini akan lebih jalan karena gini, OTT ada 2, bisa film, bisa series. Setelah bioskop, film itu bisa ke OTT, itu jadi revenue stream lagi, jadi nggak berhenti di sana. Dan series kita bisa ke OTT yang nggak berhubungan dengan bioskop. It's seolah-olah MD Pictures punya 2 perusahaan dalam itu, yaitu expert di series, expert di bioskop. Nah, itu yang jadi ekosistem sangat penting di dalam MD, which is not only doing focusing on one. Jadi saya lihat benefitnya sih sangat besar ya, dan juga value-nya jadi lebih besar. Penting banget. Jadi kalau bilang OTT mematikan bioskop, yes and no. Kalau saya orang bisa argumentasi. Menurut saya ini bisa saling komplement. Karena film yang masuk ke bioskop itu ke OTT setelah 120 hari. Jadi window bioskop, window OTT setelah bioskop. Nah, itu jadi hidup. Bukan orang pilihan nonton di OTT dan bioskop barengan. KKN contohnya, kita mau nonton di bioskop. Nanti kelima kali, ketiga kali, atau kedua kalinya baru ke OTT. Nah, di sambil itu, bayangkan kita bisa bikin antara season 2 yang tadinya belum ke bioskop. Mungkin juga nanti antara the final season kita lari ke bioskop. Jadi ini kan ekosistem yang sangat membantu. IP-nya akan lebih besar, brand-nya akan lebih besar. Itu yang orang nggak lihat value brand, value IP sebesar apa di tangan kita. That's a huge asset, a huge value. Dave, would you like to add, or Anand? I don't know.
No, I think you said it well. We have always found a big synergy between our movies, TV shows, and now online. If you'll notice, we are releasing on Disney Plus later this year, Journal Risa, the series. This is based upon our Dawnur series of very successful films. We have released Adat Sopojaro, the movie, based upon our TV show that was on TV for many years and extremely popular. You will see that continuing, this balance between the large audiences that can be driven into the theaters and the many, many different demographics and different kinds of content that is being consumed online. That's one of the important points about the business we're in and how we value ourselves. We have tens of thousands of hours of content. We have many, many successful shows and movies over the course of our years, and it just grows every year. And that IP is worth an exponential amount as years go forward. Just how you'll see companies like Disney, in their very own business of producing movies, they have this large library of content that they can build upon and re-release in different forms. And we do the same.
Bayangkan aja, I'll add, MGM, ya, dia punya 4.000 judul film. 4.000 judul film, and James Bond masuk di film itu, and upcoming James Bond movie, mungkin masih ada utang perusahaan itu, tapi tetap bisa dibeli Amazon senilai $9 miliar. Itu lebih dari hampir 130 triliun. Itu apa? So, itu dibeli apa? Kan nggak mungkin MGM ada gedung, mungkin asetnya udah digadaikan juga. Nggak ada, hanya library itu yang jadi value sangat besar. Jadi itu yang dari film yang kami lihat. Dan ini yang kita lagi buat, the ekosistemnya makin kuatkan lagi. Nggak berhenti, satu sukses. No, we can play everywhere. Even lagunya juga kita monetize. Dan ini ada pertanyaan mengenai Habibie, our masterpiece. Saya jawab aja sekalian. Yes, it is our masterpiece. It is something. Mungkin saya udah nggak mau ke bioskop. Maybe the next which kita lagi in the pipeline is Habibie Ainun, the series, model reboot, baru lagi semacam kayak Crown. It could be our biography, drama, content gitu loh. Itu kan IP yang value udah di-create. Ya, mungkin itu yang dari saya dulu.
Okay. Thank you Pak Manoj, and also thank you Dave. So kita akan masuk ke pertanyaan berikutnya. Dan ini mungkin pertanyaannya agak menarik ya. Jadi kan recently MD Pictures just announced that you guys are doing a sale of treasury shares, and also you want to do a rights issue kan gitu. Nah mungkin maybe you guys can explain what they're going to do with it, and maybe what is the long-term strategy for from the proceedings of these corporate actions. Maybe Pak Manoj.
Yeah, I'll start first. Ya, jadi ini rights issue. Ini strateginya kita mau ambil dana ini means we have something interesting that we have in our mind how to grow. Saya nggak perlu, saya juga kepentingan saya pasti untuk shareholders, karena saya salah satu shareholder terbesar di MD Pictures, and that's the value that udah di-create. Jadi sekarang with the rights issue ini, strateginya sangat-sangat menarik, yang saya nggak bisa disclose unfortunately, but the plan, if it happens, itu MD to the next level again. So this right issue is very critical, very important for us to make it work. Dan saya percaya rights issue ini value yang the funds yang dana kita akan dapat itu benar-benar akan very positif untuk MD. Kan bisa aja kalau saya mau ambil utang ini, ya kenapa nggak rights issue? Kita semua bisa benefit lebih, growth-nya bisa lebih gampang, expansion-nya lebih besar lagi. Again, I'm saying I can't disclose, but it's very interesting that can create a bigger ecosystem to MD. Itulah. Mungkin Dave, I don't know, I just said that if you would like.
Yeah, no, I think that's the point. Yeah. This is a market that is growing faster than almost any market has ever grown in Indonesia. Both online and now cinema back on track. We simply want to be able to take advantage of that and have the capital on hand to approach any opportunity that comes before us. We absolutely have some plans in mind and have some very strong partners in discussion, but it looks like we don't want to miss these opportunities as this market is growing.
And I see the right issue when our right strategy comes in place, the value will be it will be more easy to be valued, even more. Sekarang kan dari segi IP, dari segi growth, nanti ini akan bawa to the next level lagi. Itu strategi kami.
Okay. Thank you, Pak Manoj and Dave. Maybe Anand, would you like to add some color on that?
Yeah, definitely. As Dave says, right, business is growing, and definitely we need a cash to in cash whatever opportunities come. We are definitely internally discussing and evaluating few opportunities, and we'll be disclosing to the public at the right time, I think. Definitely. So that's what we are looking at, and we are excited. This market is growing. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Anand. Oke, so kita ini ada pertanyaan yang sebenarnya bisa jadi satu sih, dan ini juga cukup menarik ya. Pertanyaannya mungkin bisa saya paraphrase seperti ini. Kira-kira kan saat ini there are a lot of studio producers that are able to make series content and such like for example we have Falcon and Cinema and all of that, and also we have foreign studio producers like Marvel who can create interesting series. So maybe what the question is around what is the strategy for you guys to maintain your market share in the series making business, and maybe what is your long-term strategy to keep capitalizing this?
Well, certainly we produce series. We've produced arguably more series than any studio last year. It was the bulk of our digital revenue over the last half of last year. So we fully intend to continue to produce great series for online distribution. We already have a number of series that are entering into season 2, as Manoj said, with Antares, My Lecturer, My Husband, Kisah Untuk Gary, all going into season 2 already. And we will continue to produce series. What we're finding is that that's exceptionally popular amongst the population. Various demographics, whether it's young girls or older women or even guys in the middle who are watching our shows that are online right now. So we're not too concerned about Hollywood content because that will continue to have its market. But Hollywood content is never going to attract Indonesians the same way that ours will. And competitively, we just hope that we will always be able to raise the bar. We have a higher production standard. We have better IP. We have the top actors and actresses and directors working with us. We think we can hold our own.
Okay. Thank you, Dave. Maybe Pak Manoj would like to add, or maybe Anand would like to add something.
Sama, saya hanya nambah sedikit bahwa for me competition is good, But that's not the point, because the cake is so big, is what you can give. Bukan masalahnya quantity. Ini siapa yang bisa bikin quality dan quantity at once. Kalau bikin quality only, nggak cukup di industri ini. Ya, you don't need to be, then you can't be in this level. If you do quantity only, sama sekali enggak. The art is quantity and quality. And how many people can do that? Ya, itu sangat penting. For me, number one. Number two is, bagi saya, ini to back up number one point, bahwa Indonesia, negara kayak Indonesia, China, India, Indonesia, China, India, ini 3 negara, local content will always jadi priority. Very segmented untuk konten asing. Tetap ada, mungkin Oke, bioskop beda lagi. Mungkin asingnya 60%. Bisa juga besok kita yang 60%. Let's say 50-50%. Tapi kalau udah ngomong digital, ultimately I think is 80-20. Jadi itu berapa persentase lokal demand dari local. Ya, itu satu. Dan bagi saya siapapun yang ada di bidang ini, the key is point number one, quality and quantity. Kita bisa hitung pakai jari, and consistency. Ya, bisa nggak kita punya market share antara 20-30% konsisten? Nggak, maybe nggak nomor 1, tapi nomor 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. Cukup. Kapan sering juga nomor 1, but that's not the point. The point is consistency and persistency. Nah, itu dari MD sudah terbukti. Jadi, again, we are on the right track. We know what we are doing. Kita punya banyak. Saya udah punya lineup yang saya nggak bisa announce sampai 2024, bukan 2023. Udah siap senjata kami untuk sampai 2024. And we create the trend. Kita create. Consumer bakal mau apa? Of course ada research, ada analyst, semua to back up. But kita yang create dari zaman Ayat-Ayat Cinta, film religi 2008 nggak pernah dibuat sejarah. Ya, Ayat-Ayat Cinta rilis. Itu kan jadi tren. Horror dengan Danur yang quality bagus jadi tren. Semua membuat quality yang lebih baik. Which is good. So what I'm trying to say is kita harus lebih jadi market leader, create our expertise, collab sama JV sama perusahaan-perusahaan yang bisa kasih additional value ke MD. Jadi itu yang jadi win-win dari MD, karena MD punya strength and weakness-nya ya kita rangkul orang. Jadi weakness kita juga bisa jadi strength, saya kira.
Okay. Thank you, Pak Manoj. And maybe Anand, do you want to add something?
No, I think Pak Manoj has described it very nicely. What we are how we are different from the competition, and competition is not just about volumes and all.
Okay. Mungkin ini ada. So terima kasih ya sebelumnya for the answers Pak Manoj and also Dave and also Anand. So ini kita mungkin akan masuk ke pertanyaan terakhir ya sebelum kita masuk ke sesi technical review oleh Pak William. Ini pertanyaannya mungkin akan saya gabungkan jadi satu, kan ini cukup menarik ya. Maybe what is the long-term growth strategy for film in the next 5 years, let's say? And maybe what is your strategy to compete with the peers other than to pursue the quality and also for the quantity? Dan ini ada sedikit pertanyaan yang menurut saya juga cukup menarik ya. Film ini ke depannya apakah akan konsentrasi membesarkan OTT platform sendiri atau akan konsentrasi sebagai content maker gitu, sebagai cash cow? Seperti itu. So will you guys develop your own OTT platform, or will you guys still concentrate on being the largest arms dealer for movies in Indonesia? So maybe Dave or maybe Pak Manoj or Anand can answer that.
I would say gini, we will be the king of content, but masalah distribution, whether through banyak hal yang kita bisa masuk distribution, right? At the end of the day is now we are doing B2B, but B2C is something, what I can say, B2C is something very, very seriously we are looking into it. Caranya gimana? Let it be at the right time. We will say it, but right now B2C is a very, very prime focus where MD is directing. So the future is pasti content. Jadi kita pasti akan jadi how we will do is kita mau growth-nya terus naik dari segi cash cow kita, jalankan, besarkan, create value. Itu udah clear 5 tahun ke depan. Nah, so saya kira saya nggak perlu jelaskan. Poin 1, create content, ultimate pasti, dan itu ekosistem kita jalankan. Jadi that's our cash cow, whatever it is, bioskop, film, bioskop, digital, blah blah blah, we will keep doing. But that's again B2B. How do we go B2C? That's the next interesting thing which is in our pipeline. Because saya lihat potensi di market ini, dunia entertainment ini jauh lebih besar apa yang lagi MD buat. Jadi ini udah besar, tapi bisa lebih besar lagi yang saya lihat. Jadi that's part of the strategy for the rights issue. So wait and see, everyone. Hold on to your seat and enjoy the ride. That's what I say.
Okay, a very good analogy, Pak Manoj. Thank you. Maybe Dave or Anand would like to add something.
I think enough said. We are looking at every opportunity we can find in this market as it grows, and certainly B2C is something that is interesting. But it has to be the right strategy, the right partners, the right capitalization. And we work behind the scenes on a number of our strategies, and when we're ready to announce them, we will.
Okay. Thank you, Dave. And maybe Anand, would you like to add something?
No, I think enough. Manoj has already spoken.
Okay. Thank you, Anand. And thank you also Pak Manoj and Dave for the wonderful answers. Dan dengan pertanyaan tadi juga menutup ya untuk sesi Q&A kita. Sekali lagi saya ingin mengucapkan terima kasih kepada para pembicara kita yang sudah menjawab pertanyaan-pertanyaan tadi dengan sangat detail dan juga mungkin dengan sangat insightful ya. Mungkin teman-teman jangan sampai ketinggalan tadi ya jawaban-jawaban dari pembicara kita. Nah, sebelum kita akhiri, kita ada technical review sebagaimana yang biasa kita lakukan ya di sama Sekuritas. Ini kita ada technical review langsung dari technical analyst kita, Pak William Mamudi. Silakan Pak William Mamudi, waktu sudah tepat, saya persilahkan.
Baik, terima kasih Farras. Halo, terima kasih juga untuk Pak Manoj dan tim dari MD Entertainment. Coba saya share dulu bagaimana kondisi teknikal terbaru saat ini ya, supaya kita bisa lebih jelas. Ya, semoga ini cukup jelas kelihatan. Sebelum kita ngelihat MD, mari kita lihat kondisi IHSG terbaru. Saya memperhatikan kalau IHSG kita sebenarnya peluangnya sudah cukup gede, kita akan kembali all time high. Sudah beberapa waktu ini kita tertahan di bawah 7.300. Jadi menurut saya sih, apalagi ini juga baru keluar ya laporan penguatan bank gede, yang biasanya itu akan memicu kenaikan IHSG-nya. Nah, tentunya ini akan menguntungkan untuk saham seperti film yang kalau kita ingat, saya akan kasih lihat datanya. Year to date itu sebenarnya pergerakan saham film itu sangat-sangat bullish, dan itu menunjukkan investasi film itu memang profitable. Coba kita lihat big picture itu bagaimana. Mengingat IHSG kita sedang investasi bullish, gimana dengan film? Selama 4 tahun terakhir, dari tahun 2018 sampai 2022, saya melihat film itu range-nya yang cukup lebar, dari 1.500-an, memang sempat jatuh ke 100. Itu dari 2 tahun ya, kita ingat tahun 2018. 2020 adalah bottoming dari film. Lalu setelah itu, sampai sekarang, pas detik ini kita bicara, film itu sudah rally kencang, dan itu sudah sampai level 1.180-an. Saya ngelihat kalau untuk film ini udah bentuk pola teknikal yang kita sebut rounding bottom, di mana range 1.500 poin itu ada. Berarti kalau kita mengingat selama 4 tahun pergerakan range film ini sudah hampir kembali lagi mencapai resisten 1595, saya mengantisipasi kalau film ini bisa menuju level 3.000. Di mana kita ingat 1.500 poin itu adalah kenaikan terbentuk selama 2 tahun terakhir. Tapi bagaimana kalau setelah 2 tahun itu film mencapai level 3.000? Menggunakan teknik teknikal yang kita sebut dengan Fibonacci extension, saya melihat film ini berpeluang besar kalau untuk target yang jangka panjang ya, maka saya bilang untuk big picture, sekali kita sudah mencapai level 3.000, saya akan bisa menaikkan target film ke arah 6.000 sampai 6.400. Di sini adalah target teknikal yang kayak kita bilang adalah 4.236 extension. Angka-angka Fibonacci ini sudah cukup umum digunakan, terutama kalau untuk target teknikal. Tetapi ingat, kita bicara untuk big picture yang cukup panjang. Pola rounding bottom bentuk ini pun sudah terbentuk selama 4 tahun terakhir. Jadi kalau untuk mencapai target 3.000 memang agak lama. Jadi saya nggak bilang, target tinggi film 3.000, jadi besok tuh 3.000. Enggak juga. Itu kita bicara target yang short term. Untuk short term-nya ini, kalau kita bicara untuk jangka panjang 3.000. Bagaimana gerakan film? Tentunya itu masih bullish. Masih bullish. Saya ngelihat itu film di daily. Kita ngelihat di sini film itu memang kelihatan itu sangat bullish. Sejak year to date, film itu dulu pas Desember masih 600 perak. Tapi sekarang ini kita udah mencapai level 1.160. Jadi triangle yang kebentuk dari level ini memungkinkan kalau kita mencapai level 1260. Ini kan menjadi triangle yang sempurna. Dalam jangka pendek, menurut saya, film itu bisa mencapai level 1.500. Yang kalau kita lihat itu adalah kenaikan yang cukup masuk akal. Meninjau kenaikan film sekitar 200 sampai 250 poin selama 1 minggu terakhir. Jadi kalau kita bicara untuk target jangka pendek, film bisa menuju ke arah 1.500. Sedangkan jangka panjang yang tadi sudah saya bilang, film ke arah 3.000 atau kalau mau lebih ekstensif lagi sampai ke arah level 6.000, 6.400. Nah, bagaimana apakah investasi film itu memang menguntungkan year to date? Tadi saya bilang iya. Di sini saya punya datanya. Ketika saya membandingkan film dengan return IHSG, year to date return film adalah 30%. Jauh di atas return IHSG yang hanya 9% saja. Itu berarti return film itu memang sangat-sangat profitable. Apalagi kalau kita bandingkan return film dengan saham-saham yang berada di kondisi jenis seperti MNC yang hanya 18%, atau bahkan SCMA, tidak saja dia positif, dia malah jatuh sampai minus 18%. Bisa kita bilang film adalah saham yang memang outperform di sektornya itu. Jadi menurut saya sih, saya masih cukup optimis untuk pergerakan film ke depan, apalagi mengingat data year to date kita selama 4 bulan ini, selama first quarter 2022, menunjukkan return yang sangat positif. Jadi silakan saya kembalikan ke Farras. Terima kasih.
Oke, terima kasih Pak William ya atas pemaparan artikelnya. Dan mungkin sebelum kita tutup untuk sesi earnings call pada sore hari ini, mungkin ada sedikit sepatah dua kata, maybe some final remarks from Pak Manoj and also maybe Pak Dave and also Anan. Maybe Dave or Pak Manoj or Anan would like to give some closing remarks to our webinar on this afternoon.
Sure. Let me add in that, first of all, thank you everyone for attending today, and thank you for being interested in our company and interested in the products that we put out. We are very bullish and optimistic about our year ahead, and we hope we don't disappoint you, and you'll be quite pleased with the performance of both the company and our stock. And in the meantime, please go out to the theaters, watch our films, download these apps, watch our series, and we appreciate every one of you who is giving us your attention, your eyeballs, and your loyalty. Thanks.
Ya, saya nambah aja, hanya bilang sekali lagi, terima kasih semuanya atas dukungannya, atas kepercayaannya kepada saham film. Saya merasa potensi film ini sangat-sangat besar ke depannya, karena maupun krisis apapun, mau susah apapun, masyarakat kita, masyarakat dimanapun tetap perlu hiburan. And we are in the right business at the right time. So keep believing in us and we will grow even further. Itu saja. Terima kasih atas dukungannya dan kepercayaannya.
Okay. Thank you, Pak Manoj, and also thank you, Dave. Anan, maybe?
I will just like to add that keep believing on us. I think we have matched up to the expectation of the stakeholders in the tough time and also during 2021, and we'll continue to do that in the futures. Thank you.
Oke, terima kasih Pak Manoj dan juga Anan dan juga Dave ya atas kehadirannya pada sore hari ini. We'd like to give our biggest thank you for Pak Manoj and Anan and also Dave for attending this webinar on this afternoon, dan juga terima kasih kepada Pak William yang sudah memberikan technical review-nya terkait MD Pictures ya di sore hari ini. Nah, bagi Sobat Samuel semua, dari Samuel Sekuritas sendiri, kita masih memiliki pandangan yang positif terhadap film ya. Bahkan kita juga sudah merilis research report kita, film ini di target harga 13.50. Nah, bagi Sobat Samuel semua yang ingin bisa membaca research report tersebut, bisa melalui Samuel Trading Active Real Time atau aplikasi Star Mobile App Samuel Sekuritas yang bisa di-download di App Store dan juga di Android. Nah, apabila Sobat Samuel juga ingin membeli saham film, bisa juga melalui Samuel Trading Active Real Time ya. Ini banyak sekali benefitnya ya, terutama akun satu hari jadi. Dan yang paling baru ini kita sudah bisa melakukan e-IPO langsung di aplikasi Star Samuel ini. Gitu. Oleh karena itu, jangan lupa untuk bisa membuka rekening di sama Sekuritas melalui Star Mobile App. Seperti itu. Mungkin itu saja pada sore hari ini. Saya Farhan selaku Equity Research Analyst dari sama Sekuritas Indonesia. Terima kasih telah hadir di webinar pada sore hari ini. Jangan lupa untuk mensubscribe YouTube channel kita di Sama Sekuritas Indonesia dan juga di TikTok, Instagram, dan berbagai sosial media kami ya di Sama Sekuritas. Dan juga kita juga ada podcast setiap hari Selasa, Rabu, dan juga Kamis ya. Ada podcast ekonomi di hari Selasa, podcast hari Rabu mengenai pergerakan saham, dan juga podcast hari Kamis ada research di Samuel Investment Podcast di Clubhouse. Jadi jangan lupa stay tune terus, dan jangan lupa juga untuk memfollow semua sosial media kita untuk tidak ketinggalan acara-acara kita seperti earnings call seperti ini. Mungkin itu saja dari saya, kurang lebihnya mohon maaf. Saya tutup pada sore hari ini. Terima kasih telah hadir semua. Sampai jumpa di acara-acara berikutnya. Sampai jumpa. Thank you, Dave.
Terima kasih, William, Farras.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.